Yoshimitsu would watch as Saji would train in the Manji courtyard. After gauging the boy's skills, he was glad to learn that he wasn't dealing with an entire scrub. The boy knew his way around combat and was pretty decent with the sword. Nothing to write home about, of course, but like a diamond in the rough, with enough pressure and enough heat, he could be molded properly. Saji had taken to his training rather quickly, much more so than even Yoshimitsu would have cared to admit. He thought the boy would have had some apprehensions, but rather, this seemed to be like something that he needed. By the time of their break had arrived, as Saji was taking some water and eating, Yoshimitsu decided to bring up a conversation. "You're very determined, Saji. I can tell that you have a lot on your mind." "Well, yeah, isn't it obvious?" "What is it that troubles you?" "I feel like No, it's nothing. Don't worry about it." Worries. They often accumulate over time, like clouds that bellow into a storm. Eventually, you find yourself lost in the haze that you cannot escape. Tell me, Saji, what troubles you? It's not something I would expect you to understand. In the end, you could say that it's rather vain of me to even think like this. There's nothing wrong with admitting one's own vanity, to acknowledge such a flaw. Most men go their entire lives and can never grasp their error. But I'm ashamed of it. I mean, even in the world of devils, I feel like an outcast, like an afterthought. There are people way stronger, way more powerful than me. In the grand scheme of things, I know that I could never affect change. I could never be the one to turn the tide in a great battle or anything like that. Is this a feeling of inadequacy? It's a feeling that I can never live up to the debt that I owe. A debt. When my parents died, it was so sudden. You know, so many times we used to fight. It would be about stupid things like chores, homework, things like that. And I used to think it was such a pain. I went through it my whole life and I never cared about responsibility or anything of that nature. Hell, I'd even say that my own siblings are more talented than I am. My younger sister, she plays the violin beautifully, better than anything you've ever heard. And my brother, he has a mind that can think 1,000 steps ahead. He doesn't even need my help with homework. And from time to time, he can even point out when I'm doing something wrong. I was the firstborn, and yet I feel like the first mistake. I didn't think they'd need me. So imagine my surprise when I'm sitting in class one day and I get a call into the principal's office. And they tell me that my parents died in a motor accident. For so long, I wasn't sure of how I was supposed to take it. I mean, I still wonder, what did they ever think of me? Were they thinking of me in that moment? Then our grandfather took us in, looked after us the best he could, bless his heart. Eventually, He got old, and he passed on. He did what he could for us, but unfortunately we were struggling. And I couldn't do anything. I didn't have a job. I didn't have money. I didn't have a means to an end. If it wasn't for that pamphlet that flew across my way, if it wasn't for me summoning Sona in that moment, I wouldn't have any of this. She is the reason why I live the life that I do now. She gave me everything when I could offer her absolutely nothing. She made me a part of her household. 4 of her pawns were given to me. That's how much value she puts in me. And yet, look at where I am now. I'm on the run. I had to send everyone else into hiding for their own protection. Time and time again, I feel like anyone else could have done a better job than I could. Even now, I'm too scared to call her and tell her what's happening because she has her own issues to deal with. And as messed up as the situation is, I feel like the last thing she'd ever want to do is deal with me and my mess. That is a humbling attitude, Yoshimitsu would say. But have you ever considered the possibility that this girl, that she truly loves you? Love? Nah, a guy like me doesn't get love. I haven't earned it, haven't done anything to deserve it. You fight for her, do you not? Of course I do. You stand by her side? Without question. Do you lay your life on the line for her? You don't even have to ask. Do you love her, Saji? More than anything, Master. I feel like it's selfish of me to want it, but I do. I don't have any big goals or aspirations in this world, even now as a devil. I'm not like other people, you know? I don't go around thinking about how I can gain all the power in the world. I don't want to have the power of gods. I don't want to reshape the universe. I'm not going to lie, sometimes it pisses me off. Everyone just goes around with these big-ass dreams and aspirations, and you feel inadequate because you have none. No. It's simple. Sona just wants to make some schools in the devil world to help those in need. And I want to help her achieve that. Whatever she wants to do. I want to help her succeed. I see how tirelessly she works. I know that sometimes she'll spend days in her office without getting any rest. I know she's the type of person that makes sure everyone in her household is taken care of. She puts the needs of others ahead of her own. Even when she's embarrassed, even when she's afraid. I see someone like that, and how can I not admire them? How can I not give her everything that I have? That fight against Kazuya. I hated it for so many reasons. If Sona had been there, I couldn't do anything. I wouldn't have been able to help her. That's what's eating away at me. I can't fail. If I fail, everything ends. I don't have big goals. I don't have big aspirations. I only want to fight for my family, my friends, and for her. I don't need any other bigger purpose than that. And you have spoken the words of a true hero, a righteous heart of the devil. I should tell you the truth, Saji. Why I came to you. It was not by chance. I had a friend, a comrade. He dealt with his own inner turmoil. He died a hero. And he left behind something for me to watch over. And I was told to keep it hidden away and secure until a time should arise that it should be used again. Follow me. Yoshimitsu would lead Saji across the courtyard, far off into the forest, deep and away from the main compound of the Manji clan, until they arrived to a smaller temple, a black temple. He would undo the seals as they made their way inside, and there was a box. It was long, and it seemed to contain within it a sword. As Yoshimitsu undid the seals, the sword would be released. What is it? It is the cursed blade, the ebony blade, passed down from generation to generation to those capable of withstanding the curse. My friend was the last one to wield this sword, and he had the title of the Black Knight. The Black Knight? Of history? That is the one. However, the sword was originally meant to be passed down to those within the bloodline of the first wielder, but that bloodline has long since died, and now the sword seeks its own host. When my friend perished, the sword went into a dormant state. It gave off no aura, no power. But then it began to rise. It began to point in your direction, and I found you, engaged with Kazuya. I believe that this was meant for you. For me? But why? Why should I have it? I'm not sure. But fate has chosen you. Your power, the power of Veritara, the black absorbing dragon, paired with the ebony blade. Perhaps there is a connection between you both. Perhaps you can do what none have done before, to purify the curse. Is that even possible? Who is to say? While I was thankful no one in my clan can ever use this blade, it would go against everything we stand for. And, with all due respect, I can't pass down the title of Yoshimitsu to you. None taken, Saji said. But I can give you this. That's why I've been training you. When do you think I'll be ready? When the time comes, you'll know. When the time comes, you will be able to unseal this sword. As they left, Saji found himself with a new resolve. The resolve to grow stronger, to train harder, to become what he was always meant to be. In the meantime, Heihachi Mishima was not pleased at all. Not only had the cargo been stolen in San Francisco, but there was that incident with Brian Fury, along with everything else that was going on, and his son was failing him. As Lars had been called into the dojo, Heihachi decided that words weren't cutting it. Now was the time for action. Lars found himself on the ground with his father's foot pressed on his neck. Any more force and he could snap it. Father, please. Your failures continue to accumulate, Lars. Is this my legacy, my son? I'm sorry. Please. I didn't know it would happen. Save your excuses. They will get you nowhere. That briefcase, if its contents are lost, then everything that we have worked for will be for nothing. This company, my future, all of it will be destroyed. And someone will have to answer for that. No more mistakes. You will find the cargo and you will bring it to me at once. And the next time, you will bring in Jin Kazama yourself. Yes, sir. I understand. Good. If you fail me, you know. Nothing more had to be said after that. For Lars, there was no room for failure. In the meantime, Paul Phoenix, Misty Knight, and Martial Law had arrived to Tokyo, Japan. After taking a short cab, they were going to be arriving to the hillsides of Nagoya, where they'd be going to the mountains. For Marshall, he recognized the talismans that were covering that briefcase. I saw them once when I was backpacking in the mountains. There was a temple side that had some of those markings like them. Perhaps the people there will know how to open it. Hold on, Misty said. So you mean to tell me that this mysterious, mystical briefcase thingy that we can't open has connections to some shady-ass temple you saw when you were backpacking across Japan? Pretty much. Yeah, you know what? I think I have a better idea. Follow me, if you don't mind, guys. We take this, we turn it into the authorities, we get a boatload of money, and then we go to the Bahamas. Or we go somewhere that people ain't talking about. I mean, what about, I don't know, the Netherlands? No one's talking about the Netherlands. Who's trying to go to the Netherlands? Phoenix said. I'd rather be anywhere but here with this, surrounded by who knows who, where, what, when, why, or how. You forgot where. Shut up. We just gotta have a gunfight that could have nearly had all of us turned into Swiss cheese. And you want us to go into the heart of the lion's den, where they got eyes and ears all around this countryside. Hell, they're probably watching us right now. Relax. If they were really after us, they would have got us at the airport. That's just what they want you to think, though, Paul would say. It's like a shark's trap. It's just when you think you're safe, then all of a sudden, wham, Jaws has got you. You know, Jaws is a very flawed movie, Marshall said. I've seen it. I mean, come on. It's a shark in the water. It's pretty clear the only way to beat it is to not be in the water. Well, we're not just in the water, Misty would say. We are in the deep end. We're in deep shit. What is even in here? What are we even going to do with it once we figure out what it is? Sell it, Paul would say. And sell it to who? The Kingpin? I mean, maybe. We're supposed to be heroes, damn it. I mean, you're right. We can't sell it to the Kingpin. All right, let's just get up to the mountains. Let's find these temple people, and let's just see what we can do from there, Paul said. As they took their bags and make their way up to the mountainside, it took them nearly 5 hours to get to where the temple was. As they arrived, there were a few monks who were still cleaning and taking care of their responsibilities. As Marshall waved, he would bow as a sign of respect along with the others, as the guardian of the temple would speak to them. Greetings, weary travelers, and do tell, what brings you to our humble abode? Yeah, we came here because we're trying to figure out what this is. These appear to be cursed seals. Whoever is trying to keep you out of here, they've done a thorough job of it. Though, I can't help but ask, why didn't you go to the school? The what? You're not sorcerers? Sorcerers? What, like Harry Potter? Misty would ask. You're not sorcerers. How do you have this? The monk would ask. Although his questions would be short-lived, as multiple helicopters would appear from above, with Tekken soldiers appearing on the ground. For the few monks that were there, the few sorcerers, they were quickly and easily dispatched. Misty, Paul, and Marshall would stand back to back, as they were now surrounded. They would take cover quickly and attempt to escape, fighting against the Tekken soldiers that were after the briefcase. In the midst of the scuffle, Misty would try to take it away, only for her right arm to be riddled with bullets, as she was tased with an electric shocker. Taken alongside with the briefcase, they hurried back into the helicopters as quickly as they had come, 2 of them escaping while the others stayed behind, attempting to finish the job. For Paul and for Marshall, they would deal with the Tekken force. But unfortunately, Misty was gone. Marshall? Yeah? She's gonna kill us. Oh yeah. We gotta get her back. Yep. In the meantime, Jin was sitting on top of the Tokyo Bridge. He was getting ready for his nightly patrol, looking to gather more information. But he wouldn't need to look far. He caught a shuriken that was thrown right at him. And standing not too far away was Lars Alexander. I figured you'd be coming after me eventually, Jin would say. You're not exactly a hard man to find. At least, it's not like you're trying to hide, Lars said. So, I take it I still haven't earned the attention of the boss? Oh no, you've more than earned his attention. But your grandfather is a very busy man, and he doesn't have time to coddle to the whims of his spoiled and perpetual grandchild. That's right. We know it's you. There's no point in hiding, Jin. What gave it away? You are only the logical answer of who it could be. So what is all this? You're going around as a superhero or something? Knocking off would-be criminals and whatnot, that's fine. But your real target, the Mishima Zaibatsu, right? The one and only. It would have been better for everyone if you had just died that night. You avenged your mother. Wasn't that enough? Perhaps. But being betrayed, that kind of stings. And what's worse, you bastards are trying to bring him back to life. So you've even figured that out too. I don't have all the details, but I know one thing. Ogre cannot come back. That's not for you to decide. But it is. I'm not just coming for you or for grandfather. I'm coming for the entire company. I'm taking it back to what it should be, what it used to be. And not only am I doing that, but I'm also going to destroy the G Corporation in the process. I see. So this is just your full-on agenda. A war between your grandfather and your father. But why am I not surprised? Don't act like you don't have a stake in this either. After all, you wouldn't have come here if you didn't. You're right. Unfortunately, I made the mistake of thinking that I could handle things under the table. But now I know that if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. Is that so? And you think you can take me down? I know I can take you down. You're a lot of things, Jin. But the best, I don't know about that. After all, the only reason why you won the King of the Iron Fist, Lars used air quotes, is because I wasn't around to fight you. Well, you're here now. So why don't we rectify that? 2 hours later, Heihachi would receive a phone call from Lars. The package has been retrieved, and Jin has been neutralized. You have done well, my son. We will now move on to phase 3 of the operation. Begin shipment to Shibuya immediately. Where is Jin? I have him in custody now. Good. Bring him as well, and do not lose him. We will begin the operation. So soon? We'll just begin prep work. Once everything is finalized, we can move on to the final stage. I believe it's time to call together the world's greatest warriors. You don't mean. I do. It's time for the next king of the Iron Fist to see who truly is the greatest. You have another agenda, don't you? When it's all said and done, this will be the last, and I will enter into a new realm of power. The realm of the gods. This concludes Tekken Born Again. What If Jin Kazama Was Daredevil? Season 1, Part 9. As always, if you enjoyed today's video and everything else that we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is Power Core Productions and Podcastings that's to come out now and in the future. Stay tuned next Monday as we continue and conclude Tekken Born Again. What If Jin Kazama Was Daredevil? Season 1, Part 10, the Season 1 finale. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm Javon Harrington with Power Core Productions and Podcastings, signing off, and I'll see you next time.